What up, y'all? Welcome back. At this time, I know y'all know what it is. I'm here with another installment of the podcast. Today, I've got sounds by Breezy. Obviously, you already know I've got my co-host CL McCoy here. CL, say what's up to the people.
What's up, family? How y'all doing, man? Glad y'all can be back. Yo, this one's gonna be crazy. I mean, this to me, this is like a very, 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 very special one because, like I said, we got my guy sounds by Breezy with that CMG.
Appreciate y'all, man.
So yeah, let's get into this, man.
Let's get into it, man. Appreciate y'all for having me.
So before we get into it, let me give you the proper introduction that you deserve, my G. This guy is a 4-time platinum producer. He's one of the producers of Down in the DMs. He also is on Pose by Yo Gotti. He produced that track. He's got credits for Yo Gotti, Nicki Minaj, Moneybag Yo, Lil Uzi Vert, A Boogie, ESTG, 42 Doug, Black Youngster, and so much more. You know what I'm saying? Y'all give some shout outs to Sound by Breezy and say what's up to the people again, my dude.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you for that intro, man. It's a lot of years of hard work, man. Pays off. Pays off if you stay consistent for real.
Well,
What you love to do. Because as long as you love what you're doing, man, it never feels like work.
well deserved, my guy. Like I
Yeah.
said, congratulations on all your success and many more that's coming because I can only imagine what you got in the future. So yeah, for sure.
Appreciate you.
Definitely dope, and definitely love to hear you say, you've been doing it for 10 years, letting everybody know what the grind is, because again, things we talk about, we've had different interviews and you see all kinds of different results that people can get. So some people may get results in a year, but most people are going to get results in 10 years, 7 years. It takes time, it takes the grind, it takes building these relationships and everything like that. So if you had one tip before we get going, while this is on my mind, if you had one tip for the new inspiring producer, engineer, artist, whatever it is, what would that one tip be?
I'll say do it for the dream, not the money, because when you attack the dream, it comes with the money. So just don't drive yourself thinking about a dollar sign, but more about ideas and how to grow your artistry.
Mm.
So you mentioned ideas. What do you do to get new ideas? I know a lot of producers and people talk about, writer's block or beat block. I don't really believe that's a thing. I
So
believe you can work out of that.
yeah, so
Uh,
I'm not really a producer in the sense like I'm of making beats. I'm not sitting at home. Obviously, I got my studio, but I'm not here sitting making beats all day. Um, I'm really trying to study the game, what's going on, what type of drums are popular, what type of sounds people want to hear nowadays, where is the music going to, um, and that's how I came up with Pose. So with Pose, it was necessarily the idea was already in my head. So as I'm on the way to the studio, I know that songs like "Whoa" are popping at that time, and is catering to a TikTok community or environment, market, however you want to put it. And I know that I can't go to somebody like Yo Gotti and be like, "Oh, let's make a TikTok song."
Yeah.
They don't want to
right.
hear something like that. So it's how do I take something that I know um, is gonna work for that market, those 15 seconds, 20 seconds. So I'm like, well, I know. I On the way to the studio, actually, I was hearing this song. You know, the song "Give Me Your Number" and I'll call.
Yeah.
Call.
So I started with that bed sound. I don't know, something about that screech. The bed screech is like very catchy.
Yeah.
And then I knew songs like "Whoa" were were popular. So I wanted to do something that kind of makes you dance as well. And in the action of trying to put something like that together, I thought about, okay, so maybe instead of in that part making people do the dance, let's do something that makes you take your phone out. Everybody loves phones, everybody loves pictures. So I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, let's download a camera sound. So we had the drums, we had the best screech, and then we put the camera sound in there. And everybody in the room, we're in my studio in Kendall, Florida, and everybody was like, no, it still needs more. And I just knew like it was perfect, like it was perfectly made with that pocket to then me send it and tell Gotti exactly what you need to say. Just when you hear the camera sound, just say something in the lines of posing, or so it was like just perfect. That's how I feel like that's how hits are made, is like it's either something in the room sparks it, or you come with that idea already ready. If
Right.
not, you're just fishing, you're just throwing the bait out there every day and hoping that something you catch something. But if you prepare the song in your head before you even get to the studio, I feel like sometimes that's a better way of creating a hit record.
Are you more of a melody guy first, or like drums? What kind of is your sequence?
Yeah, I am a melody guy because I just sit here and go through loops or samples, old songs or anything. I start with a sound first, but I also know what tempo and what type of drums I want depending on what artist I'm working with. So if I'm working with an artist like 42 Doug, then I know I need some Detroit type drums. Or if
Right.
I'm working with somebody like, Glorilla, I'm gonna need some more Memphis type drums. So it's really just composing the beats the best way. It's not really, I'm not here just doing everything by myself. I have producers signed to me. I'm sending out loops. I'm sending out sample ideas that I think are gonna work for certain artists I'm around with. So while I'm being Moneybag Yo's creative director, which takes a lot of work on the road, I'm still cooking because I'm sending out my ideas, and I'm the one who could get them in the rooms, which is like the the most important thing about producing. You can make a million beats, but can you get it to the artist? So,
Right.
you know.
Understood. Understood.
Get that. I get that. I wanna run it back just a little bit. I wanted to touch on this. So you said you spend a lot of time getting new drums and getting new sounds and stuff like that. Do you feel like always focusing on getting the next new sound is what makes you more creative? Would you suggest always focusing on getting new sounds or focusing on working with the sounds that you have?
No, I definitely suggest always keeping up with the new sounds. But when I say sounds, I mean like patterns and stuff that are already popular. So you look at the Billboard top 10 and you know that these songs are popular, then you know what tempo they're using, or similar drum patterns, which is like, it's the same thing like saying Detroit type beats, or
Right.
um there it's like type drums. It's literally just a pattern of drums that everybody uses over and over on different loops. Like there's nothing too creative about that. Like I don't know. It's
Right.
in my opinion, it's like everybody's like, oh, like half of these kids are just clicking in these drums anyways. You're not playing the drums, you're clicking them in. Like so,
Exactly.
it's like so damn. So I have to click them in for you to know that I'm the producer. I don't think it should work that way. It's like if we're all in a room working towards this sound creatively, it doesn't matter who clicks it in. Is who's putting in the input to see the song from the beginning to the end. So it's not about just making a beat, it's seeing the whole song through.
So we talked about this, and I believe it was the last podcast we had physics on. And it's a team effort. Like I want to keep stressing that because there's a lot of people who watch this who are going to watch this podcast, and they're going to want to do everything. So they're going to want to make the drums, they're going to want to record themselves, they're going to want to do everything. But you doing everything isn't going to be able to put out the product on the for the most part that they're putting out when they're all working together, because 2-3 minds is better than one mind. Like when you have songwriters, whether it's a producer or beat maker that's a songwriter, or a lyricist that's a songwriter, or whoever it is, it takes a team to make these smash hits that you hear.
I mean, me necessarily, bro. I'm not trying to be in the studio by myself. It's boring. It's not something cool for me to do. I like a dope environment. I like the right producers with me. Whether I like your drums, or I know, oh, this guy plays the piano nasty, or I know a guy who plays the violin, or just I know flutist. Just try to incorporate also real sounds into my beats. We do that a lot, and like I said, I think it's your choice whether you want to be in the studio by yourself, or just you know, I always think the best music comes in a collaborative effort. So to me, I'm always, everything that I make is gonna be a collab. You're not gonna ever hear a beat unless like I could buy it off, like you know, I could just like I got the money when we're working. I could be like, yo, here's 500, bro. Like this is mine. But to me, it's bigger. I want to show these kids how you could build your publishing, how you can learn the business, and really be a household name. It's not just about producing, but building your brand and being somebody like Take Keith, like Metro Boomin, and big producers. I'm not just a producer. Like I'm an artist too. Like, you know, I got bars. I'm coming up with bars. I'm coming up with melodies, whatever. Like I'm bringing in the best songwriters. I'm an A&R. Like I'm bringing in the best songwriters in the world into the studio. Like uh, I'm putting together super sessions. Like you feel me? And
Right.
that to me is I love that, bro. Like I get in the studio and I got my boy Ben Billions over there. He did often. I got Lunch Money coming up with the hook. I got, bro. It's just like the atmosphere is like geniuses.
Right.
Like it's just unmatched, bro. Unmatched. Whether
So
you come in the studio and just one producer there in his computer, like it's just not the vibe to me. To each
yeah,
his own, but it's just not the vibe to me.
no doubt. So before Sounds by Breezy came about, where you from, man? Like where did you grow up? You know what I mean, and everything like that. What made you get into music? Who was somebody, some producers or whatever that kind of, that gave you that motivation?
Yes, I'm from Colombia, South America. I came to the United States when I was 10 years old.
Okay.
Um, what got me into producing really since I was 14 years old. I've been going to studios with shout out to my boy Truth. Shout out to my boy Esco. Just, one of my boys was a rapper. He just used to freestyle nasty. From that, we went to looking for studios. One of my other boys went to engineering school. And since I was 14 years old, I was bouncing from studio to studio. All I can remember is going to studios,
Right.
Circle House, Hit Factory, and if you ask anybody in the biggest studios in Miami, they're gonna know that I've been there. Like, so I've been going to studios since 14. That made like my love for music like start early. I knew that that's what I wanted to do. Ever since I stepped foot in the studio, I knew like, oh, this is the environment that I like. I knew that that's what I wanted to pursue. But I knew that I'm not a musician, so it's not like I'm here playing the piano, playing this. So I knew that in order for me to learn, I had to do other roles around it to be able to, stay in the studio and learn my role in the music game. So from that, went to picking up a camera, me shooting behind the scenes music videos for local artists,
Yeah.
um, going to clubs, taking pictures. I used to get hired. They used to call me Breezy TV. Um, from there, I met my boys at Lightworks, and that the whole video thing ended up being bigger than I expected. Now I'm shooting behind the scenes with Rick Ross. I'm seeing Wale, Meek. I'm 17 years old, walking in around MMG in their biggest era. So I saw a lot of those things getting built. So I learned a lot of things like from Spiff TV, which was a cameraman, and he ended up being an A&R as well. So I'm like, I could do that as well. So I was already shooting videos. One day I ended up shooting a behind the scenes for Gotti when he comes to Miami. I, I I put him aside and I'm like, yo, I can do this for you. Like, just like Spiff does it for Ross, I could do it for you. And like, I
Facts.
bet. 2 weeks later, I'm on the road with Yo Gotti. I'm his cameraman, shooting, directing his music videos on the road, shooting blogs, just content early, putting that in his ear. Like I learned that from Wiz Khalifa, Mac Miller, Currency, all the like content, YouTube, and just staying day to days and
Yeah.
just staying on top of the content game. I feel like they really were the first people to do that. Like Currency, Wiz, and them just like you felt like you were watching a show every time Wiz dropped a day to day. I watched it like I don't know. It was like they really knew how to engage with the internet. And then from then I was on the road with Gotti, and oh, I need beats. Out here, I need beats. I've been in the studio with my boys since I was 14. I already know producers. I have beats myself that I worked on with them. I'm showing those. I'm showing all. I'm At this point, I'm just trying to get Gotti to record on something that I give him. You feel me? So
Right.
whether it was mine or not, I just made sure that the business was solidified with whoever was sending me the beats, and my beats are your beats are my beats, bro. We all eat. That's how I see it. You feel me? Because one of the last things of producing is getting the artist on it. That's what people don't understand. The last instrument is the voice. So if
Right.
I get the voice in the song, I am producing as well. So just being a cameraman, learning those things, I'm like, damn, I'm not just a cameraman. I'm over here. I'm here being an A&R, bro. I'm selecting beats. Now Gotti's using my beats. So then I went from A&R. Then as I'm in doing A&R, I'm in these sessions. People are asking my suggestions. Now I'm giving samples, all these things, and I'm like, wait, hold on. I'm looking at the definition of producing. I'm like, damn, bro, I'm a producer. It says it right here. Like I'm reading the definition of what a producer is, and I'm like, bro, where's my percentage? Like, you feel me? Look. This is what a producer. You telling me I'm not doing this? Nobody said I'm not doing that. So from that day on, I was a producer because I figured out I was producing. You feel me?
There we
So
go.
I think of myself more of a producer, composer, not a beat maker.
No, that's good though. That's good. I'm not. Trust me, I don't argue that point because I rap first. So I rap for years and years and years, but I make beats, I engineer. I wear all the hats. You know what I'm saying? I'll find
Yeah.
people to get on the tracks, collaborate, be the one who's deciding what's going on. So I definitely get that. I like how, again, we talked to Coco Bridges the other day, who worked with Nelly and stuff like that, and he was talking about how he kept putting the beat for over and over again on every CD that he gave to Nelly, so that Nelly would get on the track. So I feel like what you're saying is reiterating what a lot of these other producers and engineers and people are telling us. It's that you have to keep putting it in front of their face over and over and over again, because you never know the mood somebody's in when they're listening to music. So I might hear a
Yeah.
beat today and I'm like, that's all right. But if I
Even
hear it
even
again
like
tomorrow,
Pose. That's funny you say that because Pose. Everybody in the studio is like, oh, this not done. I'm like, bro, this is done. Trust me, it's my idea. Look what I do. We bounced it, sent it to Gotti. As soon as I texted to him, he sends me back fire emojis. As
Yeah.
soon as I sent it, that means he clicked it, heard it, fired. Once you get that, he likes it. So now, fast forward, we're in another session, and he finished one song. He's like, "Damn, what should we do next?" I'm like, "Oh, remember that beat you threw fire emojis on?" He's like, "Oh yeah, that shit was hard. Put it in." Boom, throw it on Pro Tools. What was the idea you had? Bro, when you hear the camera, pose. Oh, bet. Goes in there, the rest is history. Like, you feel me? And that's me fishing for another big social media song. Like, and I feel like I could still get one more down. And the Impose is not as big, but it's up there.
Yeah. Yeah.
so do you
So
think,
go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I was just going to tag on to the end of that. Do you think that the market now for producers, all of us who are musicians in general, let's just say from that perspective, whether you're a rapper, you're a singer, you're an engineer, whatever, do you think that the goal should be to aim towards social media tracks that'll blow up on social media, or aim at just putting out good music? I don't know if that makes sense, but understanding the difference, like good music that's for social media or just good music in general.
Well, it depends on the artist, bro. Some artists are single driven, some artists are project driven. So it depends what type of artist you are. There's some artists, like if I was Sexy Red, I wouldn't drop albums. I'll just straight drop single after single. All her singles are gonna do great. But do we want to go hear a Sexy Red project? I mean, I don't think as a musician, me, not really. I'll go listen to all the singles though. But
Right. Makes sense.
when J. Cole puts out a project, I'm gonna go listen to the whole project.
Mm.
Right.
It just depends, bro. It depends what artist we're talking about. Um, but I definitely think that you could try both, but and see what does better. But usually it's either or, bro. It's either or when the single takes off, then you put a project out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Right.
even then, like Sexy Red has huge records, and she just put out a project and only sold 20,000. So it's like, well, there's no point in it. There's no point in it. You could just
Yeah,
she could just
that makes
be successful without putting a project or wait. She could wait until all those songs get to a certain level, put them all in one package, and boom, now the album's already platinum. You know.
sense.
But
Yeah, I never
yeah,
thought
like I
about it like
said, it
that.
depends what artist you are.
My
I
man spit.
never.
That's real. I never thought about that like that. That's real.
Right. I never thought about having all these huge songs and being like, I never put out a project. Let's just a year and a half has passed, but I got 12 bangers. Boom. Y'all want this album? Buy it. You know, you don't have to. It's already going to be certified because of the singles too. That's kind of fire. I never thought about it like that.
So what do you
I
think
mean, a
that
lot of times that's why they do roll out singles prior to the album um dropping, because you're hoping for one of them to take off before the album drops. Now, if
Right.
nothing takes off, that's when the album does bad. Unless you have like a crazy banger in your album that you're just fishing.
yeah, that was
Like you're just trying to gather, like, let them know that you want to drop it, and it's like a surprise. Like that's another way. But yeah, bro. Usually, I wouldn't drop if I was an artist. I wouldn't drop a album unless I know I have something bubbling, like something going crazy.
right. So what was that record that really that like got Sounds by Breezy to really be noticed? You know what I mean? What was that first song or
Man,
whatever?
down in the DM, because after that, every room was, oh, he's the one that put it together. He's doing it. So that kind of also helped me push my brand as Sounds by Breezy, because I made down in the DM. So where the plaque and just it was a big record. It was a big record. So just being behind that just comes with a lot of money. We just had a deal with FanDuel this like a couple months ago. I don't know if you guys seen it, but it's all over the NBA. So it's like, bro, to get
Yeah,
a big check from that 6-7 years later, it's a big record. They're paying
bro.
Yeah.
two
That
hundred
had one of
thousand just to use the
lines up on
song.
that song still to this day. Snapchat me that. You know what I'm
I
Yeah,
got
saying?
I got to give you some flowers on that one. You know what I'm saying? I don't normally do that on the pod, but I got to give you some flowers on that one. Could y'all hear that?
A little bit. A little
A
bit.
little bit. Hopefully recorded well. Otherwise, it's going to be an awkward pause for everybody watching this for a couple of seconds. um, so I always like to ask on these podcasts. I think I can kind of, guess. But do you prefer analog to digital? So would you rather use like a board, or would you rather just be like, let
I
me get
mean,
onto the computer?
I think the days of the board is over, and that's just like for mixing. Not even, bro. I don't know, man. It's just Hotline Bling was made in a hotel room.
Right, right. And
So it's like
didn't Wayne record?
you can never take away from the vibe when the record is made, bro. I don't care where it's made. It's it, bro. Like,
Well, see, I
you
would
know.
never argue that, because I feel like the average listener isn't going to be able to tell the difference between analog and digital. And so that's what matters the most, is who's hearing the song. You know what I'm saying? Who's getting the tracks? You know what
Bro,
I'm saying? It doesn't
sometimes
matter.
wrong is right. That's what people don't
You're
understand
not
with
right.
this art. Sometimes wrong is right. You there trying to mix it and make it perfect. You're making it worse. Sometimes sometimes it was recorded bad, but it came out the right way, bro. And that's just how it is with music.
No,
It's
I
like
was actually
there's
taught that as well, man. I was kind of taught like, there's no wrong or right way to mix it, because if it sounds good, it sounds
Mhm.
good.
Right, right.
exactly. A lot of times these records get made and the rough sounds better than the mix, and it's because these engineers or these people mixing the songs are trying to perfect the song, but what they don't understand is that the artist already liked the rough. They already liked how it sound. They get demo-itis. Now you change too much shit, they're gonna be like, nah, bro, it sounds different. And
Yeah.
in your eyes, you're like, but wait, I'm making it better. Nah, you're not. You're taking away from the vibe that was captured in that moment. You get what I'm saying? And that's what the artist liked. So people kind of backtrack a lot when they work with artists because it's your ego trying to make it perfect when it's like it's their art. If they
Right.
say change this, you just change that. You don't change that and this because you think it could be better. No, they didn't say change that. They only said change this, and you that's all you're gonna change. You're gonna make your life living hell if you always try to think that you know everything. No, like you're here for the artist, so let's make sure the artist likes it and we move forward. We don't think we know everything.
Yeah, I like to hear that because it's like I wouldn't disagree with anything you just said because it's like at the end of the day, the artist is going to know the vibe of how they're going to move forward with their career too. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of it is like this artist has been recording for all this other time. They've already either built up their reputation, they've already done, what they've done. So why try to change the way that the artist work is typically sounded, or the vibe that they typically bring or any of those things. It's not our job as an engineer, producer, anything like that to change the artist. It's our job to help the artist, like the artist is going to be the face of the music, right? So like no matter how dope of a beat I make, the artist is the person that's going to get all the props and all the love because they're going to be on the road, they're going to be in the videos, they're going to be, the head of the song. So
Exactly.
instead of trying to control them, build with them, like help foster their emotions and everything that they had coming out, you know what I'm saying, when they were recording, if that makes sense.
Facts. No, yeah, exactly how I feel as well.
So let me ask you, where do you want to go next?
That's a good question, bro. Wherever God wants me to go, man. I'm a man of God, so
Sir.
whatever God wants for me, that's what I'm here to do, man. I'm just a vessel.
It's just going along the journey, man. I feel that. That's kind of sometimes that's the best way, man, because trying to make things happen for yourself and what I mean, just thinking too deep and thinking too hard to make the moves. That's when you sometimes you feel like you could be in a standstill. But organic, man, somebody, like you said, with your belief, man, and just your grind and stuff, that stuff come out of nowhere. You might just look at your email, get that phone call out of nowhere, like, oh dang, I'm about to do this week. You know what I'm saying? It's
Bro,
happening.
God is real, man. I don't know if you guys are. I mean, I'm not very religious, but I have a strong relationship with God. I don't believe.
Same
Right.
here.
I
Same
don't want
here,
to
man.
get into
Right.
that too much, but
No, you
but
good.
basically, God works for me in real time, and once you have that relationship with God, you know how strong that energy is that you can never go back, bro. And I just hope that everybody gets to feel that because it's amazing, bro. It's an amazing feeling knowing that God got you.
Right. I
Amen.
know. Trust me, I get that, man. Trust me, I get that. God is in you and he lets you know what he's going to do for you. When you're down, if you have a strong relationship with God and you're down, God, I got you, dog. Just keep grinding. I got you. You ain't got to worry about nothing. You don't got to worry about nothing. And then you open up your phone the next day and bam, you've got, a couple
Bro, just
$1,000 or
like
five,
that,
what
I
I'm saying? Like it's
swear,
just like,
bro.
damn, I wasn't expecting that. And I'm a firm believer in that today based off of how my day was today. I'm not going to get into my day today because it's not about me, but you just know God got you when you go through things and then you're like, you don't know what you're going to do to figure it out. And then you just get an email that figured it all out for you. And it's like, damn, okay,
Bro, it's
thank you.
just like that. And it's crazy because I don't ask God for things, but I ask for work and I will work hard for whatever that work is. So I don't ask for things. I ask for things that I can work and earn.
Opportunities.
Exactly. So it's
Yeah.
crazy when you go and you pray for these things and then your phone, like you said, you look at your phone and it's like, bro, you want to direct this music video for me? Come to the studio. I need beats, and you're like, bro, I like. Once you see it working in real time, it's a different type of feeling, man. It's like
That
I can't
organic.
even describe it.
Sure.
Right.
So let me ask you this too, bro. So, you doing what you're doing, man. What are some of your go-to sounds you like to use, like plugins wise? What DAW you use? Are you, what's some of the stuff that you like to create those master hits with?
I like to use arcade.
That's me right there.
I
I'm an
like to use
arcade.
arcade, bro. I just dive in there and just try to find the sounds that I like, man.
Love arcade,
So,
bro.
I tell you, I'm beefing with Arcade right now. I told y'all that. I'm not going to get into the whole story, but I'm beefing with Arcade, man. I used to do content with them, and we don't do content no more, and they were running ads with my likeness in it and didn't want to compensate me afterwards.
Oh
But
man, get your money, man.
yeah, good company though. Good company. I mean, well, as far as like sounds, all their plugins are good. Like all, I mean, I'm not even gonna hate on them. You know, like all
Yeah,
their
man.
output, thermal.
I just pick whatever instrument really I like and just
create.
play with the MIDI. Try to find dope samples, dope sounds. That's definitely my go-to. Get to the studio, plug in the MIDI with the arcade, and just look for sounds first. Then we think about the drums.
You go to work.
So let me piggyback on to what I'm gonna say in a lot of these podcasts. Y'all gonna hear this comment a lot. You
Okay.
see that these top-notch producers are using the sounds that we be using. So it's not about the sounds, it's about how you put the sounds together. And I can't stress
Yeah,
that enough. It's about how the sounds that you choose, your sound selection, and then how you put the sounds together. And that's how you're going to get these tracks and the connections. Obviously, the connections, like you said earlier, is the most important part. But they're using the same sounds we're using, you know?
just coming back in, man, to say I appreciate y'all, man. I got my daughter here, so I gotta get back. But thank you for your time, bro. Any time we should definitely set up another one anytime you guys want.
Man.
Any other questions before I leave?
Nah, bro, but we are down to do that. We want to do stuff too, where we start collaborating with some of the YouTube producers on that side because they got, nice followings and they can get your face out there. Then you can link up with them because some of these dudes are ridiculously dope and they have followings. And so they can bring stuff to the table and they're good people too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all about, at the end of the day, I just want to connect everybody in this space who really does this, who's really grinding, who's like, these people who are putting out 4 videos a week, they're grinding as hard as anybody else in the industry because I know how hard that is. So I would be honored to have you come back and do some more stuff with us, dude. I really do. When you went off the stream for a second, I was telling CL how much I thought this was a dope interview because you shared a lot, and it's good to just ask a question and let somebody speak their whole mind and speak their whole truth. That helps people more than just the rinky questions and the rinky dink answers, if that makes sense.
No, I appreciate you guys for real, man. I mean, anytime you guys need me for anything, just let me know in advance, and I'm here, bro. I love anything that I can teach. I think my goal is more to if I don't get to where I want to get to, is to at least um inspire the next person.
Yes, sir, bro. And you definitely doing
Yeah.
that, man. Like I said, Breezy, you always been a real one with me, man, since the day I reached out to you, man, bro. And I appreciate you, real talk, man, for, like I said, just being a part of this, man, and taking your time out. I understand having them kids and everything with you, bro.
Right. We get it. So let me go ahead and give this
Yeah.
outro real quick and then we can bang up out of here. So
I'll definitely tripping in with you soon again, bro.
yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
let's do it.
So I want to say thank you again. Make sure you guys like this content though. You drop a whole elbow on that like button, hit subscribe and that notification bell. So every time we bring you guys a new video, you can be the first to see. I appreciate you guys' time as always, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Peace.